It's JCS, and everybody know we the best, and everybody loves Joe Cronin. That's why we all love the tune, and everybody loves out of nowhere. Monetize this bitch is in the air. Run Smackdown reviews, so don't you fear. So tune in every night right here. Yeah, yeah. You know it's Cronin, tell them that we own it. On almost every night, bitch, we got the potion. Laying back in my whip, puffin' straight coastin'. Turn on the app, it's live, Joe Cronin. Raw reviews, don't forget Smackdown too. He's on Twitch, on Twitter, and YouTube. So if you want a dose, homie, of the real shit, tune in right now for some heel shit. It's JCS, and everybody know we the best, and everybody loves Joe Cronin. That's why we all love the tune, and everybody loves out of nowhere. Monetize this bitch is in the air. Run Smackdown reviews, so don't you fear. So tune in every night right here. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's JCS, JCS. Everybody here knows not the test. Cross Joe on the shelf like the rest, and life goes on, cause we the best. Everybody know Joe states facts. More views than your ass, check the stats. Keep talking till your ass gets smacked. Keep it up, then your ass gets clapped. Everybody tunes in, cause we all love it. Joe's real, he ain't no motherfucking fake puppet. Tells you what it is, homie, and you better love it. And if not, 2 words, bitch, go suck it. JCS, and everybody know we the best, and everybody loves Joe Cronin. That's why we all love the tune, and everybody loves out of nowhere. Monetize this bitch is in the air. Run Smackdown reviews, so don't you fear. So tune in every night right here. Yeah, yeah. It's JCS, and everybody know we the best, and everybody loves Joe Cronin. That's why we all love the tune, and yeah. Fridays at 11. Joe Cronin. Monetize this. Keep counting that Joe. Fridays at 11. Joe Cronin. Keep counting that cash, Joe.
Yes, sir. What is up? It's all the wrestling fans out there. SmackDown's over is boring. Man, that was boring to me. I don't know about you guys. That show tonight was boring as hell to me. I mean, as bad as Raw was, that was boring as hell. Now, I thought Daniel Bryan was funny, actually. I did think it was funny. Look at it. Forgot my fidget spinner. I don't know why. I randomly found that on the floor. Anyway, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are all well. We're starting up here. We got to talk about a lot of stuff. I mean, Daniel Bryan, I thought he was funny. I know that some people were still crapping on it. I like angry vegan Daniel Bryan. I thought that was, I thought that was pretty good. It's my favorite thing of the whole show, pretty much. And I didn't really care for much else that happened. Just a sleepy show tonight for me. Very tiresome, sleepy show. And we got Jake DeMarco in the house. Yo, Jake! You want to see this? Want a piece of this D?
Whip it out, baby. At least something good will happen.
Yeah,
my
man.
God, what a slow, drawn-out, nothing night.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't know it was just me being hypercritical because I'm in a shit ton of pain. And I'm just like, but I was more sleepy watching this tonight than last night. Yeah, tonight bored the hell out of me more.
Was that 3 hours that we just watched? I felt like I just watched 3 hours.
It felt like it.
I mean, maybe I'm tired, and maybe it's like...
like I said, I don't know if it was just me from being overly exhausted and in pain, but I was like, God, this was a crawl. I kept looking at the clock every few minutes.
Dude,
Adam Ant just said... A lot of it is just repeat matches and things like that, so that hurts a lot.
Oh, God, dude. You know when I started getting tired was New Day and... whatever, the bar. As soon as I saw that,
I went... Bar and Usos triple threat. I saw a match, listing earlier talking about, matches that have been repeated this year. You have Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, Finn Balor's on that list, Natalya and Ruby Riott, Bobby Lashley and Elias, and then, of course, the top one is New Day in the Bar, all done over a dozen times minimum.
Yeah. Too many times.
Minimum. We used to say, like, oh my God, they faced each other 3 times. That might be too much. These matches, all 5 listed, have been over a dozen times this year alone. Some just in a half-year mark.
That's insane, man.
That's terrible.
That's insane.
But you got to stick with the brand split, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's I'm just so tired. I can't tell you how tired I am right now. I asked Leah to make me a cup of coffee a second ago because I know that I have nothing to say, but I'm tired.
I was just frustrated because they have simple ideas that could work, and they have things that should be easy to fill a 2-hour block with. And then I feel like they focus their attention on the wrong things at the wrong times, and the feuds are just boring at this point. I know Daniel Bryan's Captain America, Captain Planet, like,
Captain Planet, yeah.
Yeah, that ultimate, do-gooder yet backwards idol, like all of it. It's just, it sounds like he's screaming pickle, not fickle.
Yeah, well, Daniel Bryan's become the hall monitor now, is what it is.
Yeah, he's going to tattle on everyone, and nothing he does is wrong. He only need one guy in the crotch. Everything else is.
I thought that was great, by the way, when he was like, "I need one guy in the crotch. You guys pollute the environment every day, all day," and like, oh my God, dude, I thought that was great. I loved that.
That worked well, but he was the only highlight of the entire show, and even then his motivations were simple. It didn't need to be this huge compelling narrative, but I did like that he didn't have the plates. He took them out of his pocket and chucked them away. The Yes movement's over. He's getting a different logo, and he really needed new theme music as well. I was hoping they would go above and beyond with the whole new angle, but we'll see. They still have a little bit more time.
They might be working on it. I mean,
Hopefully they're doing something, because if it wasn't for him, this would have been a total waste.
Yeah, tonight would have been horrible. I mean, it was already. I mean, dude, this was pretty bad, though. Say whatever you want, but I mean, I wanted to go to bed tonight. This was very bad. This was sleepy wise. I was dead. Daniel Bryan was the only thing going on, and I was dead tired. The women were on for 32 minutes or something.
I know, and I chuckled to myself because they break the fourth wall, but Charlotte saying that she ruined Asuka couldn't be more correct. I ruined the allure. I tore down, and no kidding. I don't know why they did that back at Mania time. She was right. I ended your streak. I beat you. So, and it's kind of like a silly comparison, but with her saying, well, I beat you, but I can't beat Becky.
Yeah, I could be you. You can't be me. I can be him. You can be them. It was very weird, but
but no one's beating Becky, because Becky beat Charlotte and Charlotte beat Asuka. So what chance does Asuka have? So, well, you didn't beat me, but I already lost to Charlotte, and you could beat her. So it's just a very silly, way to push their main event. And Becky, her going backstage, I know they don't want her to get near confrontation yet, but it just looked odd for her to disappear and walk away. I don't know quite why they had her disappear at that point in time. I know it was supposed to be like, oh, I'm done. I've said all I had to say, but it still just looks like she's walking away from a fight.
It's like cowardly or whatever.
Yeah, and again, they do that with their, a top star. They did it with Nia last night, backing away from a fight. They do it with Becky tonight, and it just doesn't look right. I mean, basically, Asuka, is saying, how about I break you right now? And then Becky disappears. So,
well, she's smart. Get the hell out of there,
Yeah, I mean, but they don't make it look smart. They frame it as, and it's all about how they frame these things, but they make it look more cowardly than intelligent.
I'll make you look more cowardly than intelligent.
Please don't.
We got. I want to tell everybody that I want to thank you for signing up on Patreon. We've been pushing the Patreon pretty hard here. People said you'll never get 100 patrons, and people said you'll never get 200 patrons. Then JD from New York said you'll never get 300 patrons like me, and we got 300, and we hit 350 patrons. So there you go. The goal to sustain what we want to be able to do is to get to 500 patrons. That is the goal. That's my Christmas miracle wish. Can we make the Christmas miracle come true? Now the number's on 100% right, We actually have 341 patrons right now. It says 319, but I don't think it's added everybody yet. So we're on our way to 500 patrons. So we were 100, then we were 200 at some point in the last few months. We moved all the way up to 350, and those should be back reflecting in a couple days. So we're on our way to 500 patrons, everybody. Check out the tiers on Patreon. There's so much bonus content on there, your head's going to spin. And you can download everything in your phone, keep everything for yourself forever, so you never lose anything. Download all the MP3s. They'll always be here for you. You'll have the Dropbox and all the other stuff. You can take a look at the tiers on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. There's a $1 tier for Corrupted Live. There's everything you get. It's a $2 tier. There's a bunch of stuff you get right there. $5 tier for Cronin Club. Cronin Club's the good one. The very good one. You get lots of stuff on Cronin Club. $5 a month. And then, of course, you get the $10 one. You get lots of stuff with the VIP. And then JCS producer credit, if you want to jump up to producer. That gets you a whole bunch of stuff. And then, of course, there's bigger tiers as well with some crazier things. And we have quite a few on there. So, boom. There you go. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Let me know. And speaking of funding the show and keeping the show going, let's take a look at what you're saying as far as donations-wise.
Fuck yeah, I got everyone's addresses, mon! I got everyone's fucking addresses, mon!
SD Blah. CY2J pummel a fan on tour bus. Slade broke collarbone. Also, you still cool with Chris? IJFO that Y2J has me blocked. Thumbs down my wife Becky smiling face with hard eyes face blowing a kiss.
Finn Balor forever, man. Thanks for the $5. Okay, so I did not see the video of Chris Jericho beating someone up on a tour bus. Wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I've seen him beat up a lot of different people on a lot of different videos, but that's not seen this one yet. I'll take a look at it. And Slade broken collarbone, didn't see that yet either. Got to check that out. And Jericho, I don't know, Jericho still pretends like he doesn't know who I am, but he blocked me that time, and then the next time he said he loves me. So I'm not really sure what Jericho's been talking about as far as me go, but I go. Me go.
Sorry, Joe, I'm a poor. Got canceled. I should be back on tomorrow.
Online persona, dude. What's up, bro? Hey, that happens, man. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Patreon, we'll be waiting for you. We'll be here. Don't worry, man. If you guys get your Patreons canceled or you can't, become a patron for a little while or you jump off Patreon for a few, you guys don't have to message me and say, I'll be back. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to say it's nothing to say. It happens, man. People come, they go, they come back usually. So I know you're going to come back because everybody usually does. I think 95% of the people come back. It's pretty crazy. So we're killing it over there. So no, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
anyway,
especially because it's Christmas time. Things happen. So
yeah, it's a tough month usually.
I will not hunt them down this time. Usually you have me hunt everybody down.
Yeah, I have Jake kill people.
Find their address. Put it out there.
You know what's weird is last year, though, December was my best month of the year, and this year. It's 2 years, December. I was thinking, things are going to slow down, everything.
Yeah, it would be the opposite.
I don't know what the hell happened last December, but it was insane.
Yeah, WokenDemon sent me this little tidbit before. He said, so my new buddy Jack got hurt from a fan crashing the Fozzy tour bus.
Wow.
Jericho speared the guy and pummeled him.
Jericho is such a hockey player, dude. He's a hockey player. When he sees shit go down, Jericho beats the shit out of people.
Yeah, he doesn't wait. That's why I wasn't surprised when everybody was like, oh, Jericho went head-to-head with Lesnar, saying that, when Orton got split open that time at SummerSlam, and everyone was like, oh, I'm surprised because
Jericho's got a temper. Jericho
doesn't give two shits.
Jericho's a hockey player, man. He does, he'll fight Lesnar, he'll fight anybody. He don't care. He's crazy. I love it. Is there a video of this guy getting beat up or whatever?
I haven't seen any video, but
oh my God.
Meltzer was saying there was apparently a kid helped play or did some drum work on the show, and the kid wanted to go on the tour bus and get autographs.
Yeah.
And I guess they don't want him on, and he ends up somehow sneaking on, and one of the guys in the crew saw him, and they got into a fight, and the guy actually ended up with a broken collarbone because of the fight, and then he gets kicked out. So Jericho gives him a spear, and he's pounding on him from a mounted position. So he's got a ground and pound going on.
Jesus.
People tried to stop him.
Daniel Mrs. X. Hey, Daniel, thank you for becoming a patron, by the way. And yes, Fickle. You're going to hear Fickle a lot now. You're going to hear Fickle a whole hell of a lot. Thank you, Daniel.
Apparently the guy was on meth and barged on the bus for an autograph.
Oh, there you go. Meth always does it. It's always fucking meth.
Yeah, he wouldn't leave and took a swing at Jack Slade, who WokenDemon is friends with, so.
So Slade is the one who broke his neck. He broke it on that. He wasn't wrestling.
No, that's where he got injured, I guess.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. So still crazy shit altogether.
Yeah, no, I know Jericho's dad was an NHL player. That's true. I know that, but I mean, he just wants to be one. He's like, I see my dad beat up people, so I'll beat up people too. Hey, listen, I want to shout out Michael Keen, man. Thanks for coming back to Patreon. Tay Money 13 is back on Patreon. So what's up to Tay Money? And also to Wayne. Thank you, Wayne. Kobielka.
I'm so sick of the what chant. I hate it when people bring that back up. The only time I feel like it's passable is when the McMahons are out there, like Vince especially, just because it fits, with the history of it all. But
it was funny when he yelled at the crowd for that. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was. But a lot of people don't know how to combat it and overcome it. Some do, but when it was going on with
what Daniel said was great.
Yeah, he made it work. Alexa Bliss has shut it down. Becky shut it down before, but Mandy and Sonya just couldn't fight over it, and they were getting drowned out by the what chants. And what bothers me here is they had the whole backstage segment a few weeks ago to show that these two were no longer working together after they had that battle royal and they turned on one another, and they made a big deal of them, no longer being on the same page. They couldn't trust each other. And then, pun intended, Paige went ahead and, tried to talk some sense into them too, and didn't work out. So they were done. They weren't working together. And now tonight, suddenly they come out as a unified team to take on Asuka and Charlotte.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not a huge deal, but it's just, it adds to it. So it's like, how can you care about them trying to either attack, Charlotte and Asuka, or if they get, when they get the win, no one gives a damn.
No one cares.
Yeah, it ends up being a nothingness because, Asuka cost her the match anyways, which it wasn't a great match. It was kind of all over the place. Asuka, gets kicked off the apron, and then she heads into the ring and takes out Charlotte with a head kick intentionally, and Sonya Deville ends up pinning Charlotte, and they get the win. So no one cares. The audience is quiet. And it just really sets the tone 30 minutes in that, it's going to be one of those nights.
Hey, listen, I'm going to grab my coffee real quick. I'll be right back. But while I do that, we got someone on the phone that you got to talk to. The man that's on the phone is Luke. And Luke. Rojas. What's up, Luke Rojas?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us what's penis going on, bud.
It's the first ever TLC match. It's the first ever. I'm so funny.
Have we heard that already? My God, it's just.
By the way, how is it the first? Like, who gives a shit? It's the first TLC match. They've already had a first women's ladder match. That's the literal difference of a TLC and a ladder match is that chairs and tables are around that you can use in a ladder match. What the fuck is
they already
different?
used chairs and tables in the ladder match. I mean, there's no stipulation change at all.
But it's the first time, Jake. So why?
But they've had TLC matches without the bell being, suspended from the ring too. Where it's just gone for pinfall. It's always screwed up,
Yeah, like the best TLC matches, like the best TLC match that happened, like recently, I guess, was like, I don't know, like because they don't even like who gives a shit if it's a TLC match for the first time in the women, like. Who gives a fucking rat's ass? How many of these first ever women's matches are you gonna have? The first ever women's clitoris on a pole match or some shit. Like, who gives a fuck?
They wouldn't find it.
They rip out fucking Eva Marie's fake tits and put them on a pole and see who gets to win it. Like, who fucking cares?
You're too young for the find the clit jokes, I guess, but. How do you feel about the participants, though, in the match? What about Asuka being there? Are you for it or against it?
Listen, Asuka, I really couldn't give two shits about her. She hasn't been relevant since WrestleMania. I
do agree that she hasn't been relevant since WrestleMania, but I think this is the best she's looked since then.
Anybody who's excited for Asuka to be in this match is a retard. Because you really think that it's going to matter. These fucking, nothing matters anymore. I just
Rumor has it might matter because they're trying to possibly use this as the catalyst to get Becky to face Ronda down the line. So They can go
Well, I
ahead,
thought they were-
have her be stripped of the belt without it having, to be
I thought
directly
this was
affecting
the
her. She
original-
doesn't get pinned. She doesn't get submitted. It's simply Asuka gets lucky by climbing up a ladder. So Becky can say, "You didn't pin me. You didn't beat me. I incapacitated myself to kill Charlotte." So
I thought this was like leading up to, like maybe Asuka wins the title or something. No, like maybe Charlotte wins the title. It was like, how they've been saying, like, I've heard rumors now that they're trying to do, like, and because of that whole Survivor Series turn, that they're trying to put Charlotte against Ronda instead of Becky, which would be the ultimate slap in the face.
Which I agree would certainly be a huge disrespect to the audience and the fans, but that seemed more likely, especially since the way they framed it and saying that, Charlotte, which we know she has unfinished business, but they focused on that so heavily.
Wait, can I ask you a question, Luke?
Yeah, what's that?
So, this is like the only confirmed gimmick match, right, of TLC?
That I'm not sure of. I think they said something with the tag titles. It might be, though.
Because is Dean and Seth, because Dean made a promo of how the title was going to fall into his hands.
That seems like it's a ladder match. That seems like it's a ladder match.
They're going to work it. I think they're going to work a promo into, a stipulation into that match. But
because last year's TLC, only one match on the whole card was a gimmick match. It's fucking. How do you have a pay-per-view called Tables, Ladders, and Chairs when half your matches are normal?
Because Braun and Baron is a TLC match, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, and that also has the extra stipulation of, Strowman wins, Corbin's no longer the GM, and he gets the chance against Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble.
I'm so excited
I think the Bar, New Day, and Usos match might be.
I just wish that
they would.
Really
excited for Braun versus Brock number 2,450. Like, who fucking cares anymore, right? Like,
doesn't.
What's gonna happen? Braun is gonna dominate Brock early on in the match, and Brock's gonna win by one F5. Like, who fucking cares anymore?
Yeah, especially after all we saw last time. I mean, it was multiple F5s, but it was a very
I hope Brock gets in a car. I hope Brock or Braun gets in a car accident, because both of them aren't fucking entertaining anymore.
Braun could be, but he's very one-dimensional at this point. So
no, like, he was entertaining like last year when he was doing the "I'm not finished" review, but like, I think all that hype that surrounded him has died off like since January. Like, I haven't been into Braun in so long. Like, he hasn't really done anything that really makes him like the monster among men. He beat up Kevin Owens, and he lost his match against Kevin Owens in Extreme Rules because he was a fucking stupid retard. He lost to Roman at Hell in a Cell because he's a fucking stupid retard. Like, why do I care about these people that they're pushing when all they do is seem to lose or lose because of themselves because they're fucking stupid dipshit retards?
Yeah, you're supposed to, be the top of the top, but yet you kick your own ass.
Yeah, everyone's embarrassing.
Example.
But that's the thing, though. I think Asuka, this is the best she's looked, if not ever, certainly in a long time. I mean, the undefeated streak didn't help her much in hindsight.
She doesn't look very good at all. I mean, like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think she looks good tonight. She seemed very
good
hostile
sexually.
And feisty. What's that?
This is the best she's looked in the last, 6 weeks, maybe.
I think since Mania, honestly.
That's fine, too, but the best she's looked ever? I mean...
No, I'm saying since WrestleMania, since she lost the streak.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
This is the best she's looked in a long damn time because she's gone ahead and she's been, floundering. Now she looks feisty. She's motivated. She looks dominant. She was good on the mic tonight. She delivered well. She didn't, she said, "Oh, you weren't ready for us," but she also said more than that. Then she also breaks off into her, natural language, native tongue, however you want to put it. And I like Charlotte covering her ears. Like, I don't want to hear you speak another language. So that was funny. But, I mean, she struck back right away against Charlotte as well. So as soon as Charlotte accidentally kicked her, she knew it was an accident, but still went for the kill. So, makes her seem, certainly like an actual threat. I don't know. I think they're positioning her in a decent light compared to how she's been booked.
Well,
certainly much better than being non-existent in the mid card.
Yeah, I just think that tonight was, man, sleepy time. 732, you're on the phone. What's up?
Oh, no doubt.
Yo, what's up, Joe Cronin? Dude, I didn't watch SmackDown tonight, but man, I'm chilling. I'm having a good time.
Ecstasy?
Yeah. You know, man.
This is what happens. This is what happens, man. You didn't watch SmackDown tonight, but you did drugs. Good call, though, I think.
Thank you. Yeah.
You got anything else to say, or you're just on drugs? That's what's happening?
No, that's about it, man.
That's about it. All right, man. Well, hey,
just do more drugs, watch less SmackDown.
I say do them in the ass. Put ecstasy in your ass. You'll get real high real quick. What?
Yeah,
the
don't
fuck?
snort it. Queef it.
That was weird. I mean, this is what we're dealing with now. That was really weird. Let's go. Let's Jake.
After the lowest rated Raw ever.
Yeah.
Least amount of viewers, lowest watch, like you said. You knew it was coming. They were on a downward swing for sure.
Why don't you?
Can you imagine? They keep topping themselves.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be embarrassed? Wouldn't you? No wonder why Vince is selling all his stock.
You knew it was going to happen because, well, you didn't know it was going to happen, but when you saw, the Survivor Series, the night after Survivor Series, they were lucky. They had a padding because it was a pay-per-view night the night before, so they were going to get a good rating. But then, or not a good rating, but, something. They got 200,000 extra viewers because of pay-per-view was the night before. But then the next week, last week, they decided to have the worst Raw ever, and that night the ratings aren't going to really reflect that, because you're going to see that night what they did reflect is people stopped watching throughout the night like crazy.
Yeah, people tuned out in droves.
And clearly
600,000 people concurrently.
So that told me, like, okay, well, next week it's going to be really bad, because all those people that are like, why did I watch this, are now next week not going to watch. So we have the potential for the top 3 worst watch Raw of all time, is what I said the other night. And we got the worst watched. Why am I retarded? The worst watched Raw of all time.
Pour me a beer. You've got
the worst one. Sid Dro. Yo, what's up, Sid? Casey is Raw. Thanks for the 316 donation, by the way. Did Casey's not play? What the hell's going on? Sidro, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. What's up, bro? Let's have fun. And by the way, I gotta shout him out. We got another new patron, and whenever we get a new patron, we gotta hit this thing, man. Elijah 00 something with a face, I think. But what's up to Elijah, man? Becoming a $2 patron. How you doing, man? Let's get to that 500. Can we get to that 500 mark? We will really piss some people off if we do that.
And like White Society said, TLC. The triple threat for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship is a tornado tag match. That's that stipulation. So
all right. So just tornado tag. There's no TLC.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess it's just a tornado tag.
I'm gonna skip that match, dude. I don't want to watch these guys at all. Xavier Woods and the New Day versus the. Hey, are you ready for? Listen, I'm gonna go grab my coffee. Are you ready for the rap battle next week, Jake?
Oh, I heard that and I just cringed harder than I needed to. I think my brain broke more at that point. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, I mean, most of the night we can skip. We have, the Mixed Match Challenge finals. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, I'm sure, will be good. We've seen them fight many times before. I feel like they both have only gotten better in the ring since we last seen these two compete. Braun Strowman, we don't know how he's doing. We don't know how his elbow is holding up, so it could either be a very, very, very quick squash match, or they could throw in, other combatants into the mix to try and make up for him not being able to wrestle and compete. I mean, there's a lot of options there. Ronda Rousey taking on Nia Jax with Tamina in her corner. I'm not really interested in that because of Nia. Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, again, been there, done that. It'll be a good match, but heel Daniel Bryan is the only thing that I think that's making that a little bit more interesting. We get to see a bit more of a different mindset for Daniel in that match. Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, that I'm sold for. We've seen these two take on each other recently, but I'm hoping we might get an appearance from Demon Finn here. We'll see. Never know. Unlikely. can be hopeful. Becky, Charlotte, and Asuka is pretty much the only match that I'm looking forward to on this card. We were robbed of Becky's performance on Survivor Series thanks to Nia. And this one has a few good possibilities for outcomes. You know, Charlotte certainly could walk away with the belt. Never say never when it comes to Charlotte. She is the golden pony for the women's division. They tend to give her a lot more opportunities, and that's been noted recently on television. Could Becky retain? That's possible as well. She goes into the Rumbles, you know, to defend the title. Asuka could win to set up Becky and Charlotte going into the Rumble. You know, that's possible as well. Then we have Elias and Bobby Lashley. No one gives a damn really about Lashley, so it's fun to see Elias, but we've seen that match. And then the triple threat for the tag that we can just skip altogether. So, and like Brian had said in the chat, we will probably get, you know, a tables match between Natty and Ruby Riott at some point added in, since they've been putting her through tables. So,
yeah, SmackDown has made more sense than Raw. You know, there's no doubt. Like, SmackDown has made more sense than Raw, but tonight I was just bored. SmackDown bored the shit out of me. And speaking of boring, let's take a phone call from an old friend, Dan Kennedy. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Hey, man. How you been?
I've been okay. What's up
long
with
time
Daniel?
no chat.
Hey, Jake. How you doing?
Good, how
What's
you
with Brian being an angry vegan environmentalist?
Well, he really is an environmentalist, vegan guy, so why not turn that and make it heel? And it's already healed to a lot of people already see that as heel. I think it's great, by the way. I think it's brilliant. I like it. You don't like it?
I haven't watched it in a while, so I just turned SmackDown on for the first time in a while.
Oh,
so.
I get you. Yeah, I don't know. I like it, but
they basically took his real world views and his politics and things like that and just, you know, allowed him to turn his persona up to 11. And he's pointing the finger outward, and it gives him a chance to be a heel and more expressive. And
you can tell he's a dick about this stuff, like, behind the scenes. Like, when he was with John Cena or, like, the Total Divas stuff, you can tell that he's, like, he looks down on people. And I'm not joking. I think he really does look down on people a little bit, like, about, you know, like, what people do to the environment and stuff. Like, if he saw, like, the way some people just threw the trash out or, you know, eating the meat or whatever, he's got this... He definitely has a nasty feeling towards those people, like in real life. And a lot of people have a nasty feeling towards people who want to talk about climate change or, what eating animals does to the environment and all this other stuff. So chances are he's going to get a lot of heat by doing this. So I don't know. I just think it's a good way to go, and it just kind of started recently, and that was the better thing of the show tonight. What else happened on the show tonight? I thought nothing. Becky was all right, and but the hype died for me, and then the night died for me. I thought Daniel Bryan's dressed hilarious, though. He's cracking me up. He's dressed like I don't even know, dude. Like
with a sweater. And
he looks
everything.
like Kurt Cobain or something when he was like relaxing at home back in 1992.
Yeah, before the shotgun. And granted.
What the fuck? Oh my god! don't let Sean's view hear that,
Yeah,
or he's
really.
gonna freak the fuck out.
But you're right, though. I mean, you definitely hit the nail on the
Jesus.
head. What was there to be excited about or be entertained by? Becky, who usually is the best thing on SmackDown, was an afterthought. She was. They made her walk into the back. She barely said anything, and she disappeared. Yeah, granted, she came back out, but for seconds, you know. Then we had the tag team singles match, you know, the triple threat. That was nauseatingly aggravating. From there, we had Miz interview the new Daniel Bryan. That was okay. Bryan did well, but there just wasn't a lot to get behind.
What's with him referring to himself in the third person like The Rock?
A lot of
it's
wrestlers.
just part of the heel persona.
A lot of wrestlers do it, you know. I mean, really.
Yeah, these people, and I don't like the fickle chant. I think that's gonna be
when I actually
very tedious.
He's done that before, and when he did that, I went, "Oh no!" So then when he started with this tonight, I was like, "This is way better. This is so good." And then he brought back the fickle at the end, and it was like, "Oh no! Like, don't do the fickle thing. That's not good. Don't do something people can It's like everything was great. Just get rid of the Fickle thing. That's just get rid of Fickle. Everything else he did was good. Just don't do the Fickle thing, and we're good, I think.
You're trying to get rid of the yes chant. You don't want people chanting along with you. The Fickle thing is not going to help, you know?
Yeah, they'll chant yes at the Fickle thing. Or some people will chant the Fickle thing, so you don't want that at all. Don't do that.
You know,
to be honest,
my Fickle. Hey, remember that time that I love you, Dan Kennedy, and thanks for calling, bro. Remember that time Dan Kennedy thought he could hang with us on Monetize This on Friday nights? Thought he could hang with my fucking vulgar radio show on Friday nights here on Joe Cronin Show? Dan Kennedy thought that he could hang with us. And remember, this is what happened. Oh,
hey,
suck
Joe,
his dick.
real quick, before you hang up.
I'm not going to hang up. Take it easy. But I might if you keep doing that. What's up? What's up, Dan? What's up?
The week of October 4th is my birthday. Can I take Tommy's spot on Monetize This for that?
Possibly. Well, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You got it. You got his spot, bro. Call up on your birthday. I'll fucking put you on if you're gonna be like that the whole show. But you're gonna get fucking ranked on, Dan. You're gonna take
sanctuary to me.
Dan, you're gonna take the fucking you're gonna be in the bitch position. You know what I mean? You're gonna get whipped, Dan.
No.
I mean, Justin Bailey and all your other friends can dish it out. I can dish it right back.
Hell yeah! I like this guy.
All right. Well, guess what? I raped your mother.
Whoa.
I said, wow. I can fucking right back.
Whoa.
My mother has MS.
Oh, no.
Come on, man.
You fucking goddamn it.
I can give it.
Is that part of giving it back?
That was a fucking test, man. I tested him right there. I was.
Hey, Joe, real quick.
Oh, man. Well, I raped your mother. Whoa. It's the greatest reaction ever.
I can still hear it in my head. You're going to be in the bitch position, you know?
Yeah. And he's like, I can handle it.
Justin Bailey and everybody else can do it, dish it out. I can handle it.
Okay, well, I raped your mother. Whoa. Then he goes, my mother has MS.
Super chat.
Have Daniel chant Zigair.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Have Daniel chant Zigair. I don't know what that means. Dorian Moore, thank you, man. Thanks for the donation. By the way, if you guys want to donate, the link is in the description box down below. Twitch alerts. All the donation amounts are listed below as always. And underneath the chat, there's a $sign. You can do super chats if you want to. And feel free to fund the show. It's up to you guys. Or become a patron if you want to get 30 hours of bonus content back. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Or download the Patreon app so you can hear shit that is not heard here on YouTube over on Patreon with 30 hours a month of bonus content. Check it out. Let's get to 500. If 200 of you guys sign up tonight, we are going to rub it in that motherfucker's face over there and everywhere else. We're going to rub it in everyone's face. Okay, we're at 345 patrons and counting. Can we get to 500? It's my Christmas present. I don't know. You guys try to do it. I don't know. It's tough times right now. It's December, as we said the other day. Where are we on the show on SmackDown, Jake? I mean, take us through the women's thing. And the women's thing, fuck it. Let's just go after that. Unless you have like a couple things to touch up on the women's first 30 minutes of the night.
I mean, no. Mandy Rose, Sonya, I give them credit. I mean, they're trying. There's just no reason to care about them, honestly. And that's not any real fault of their own, I feel like, in this predicament. You split them up. You put them back together randomly. Why would anybody give a crap that they won? You know, there's no peril. The whole thing was to focus on the way that Charlotte and Asuka were going to interact with each other. It really made Becky feel like a forethought. Just put her in the background, which they shouldn't do. The crowd's chanting for her nonstop. Make her the main focus. Don't have her leave, even if she's on commentary the whole time. She's great on commentary. At least she has been previously in this heel role. Right. Let her talk. Let her speak. So yeah, that was a mess. That was a complete and total mess. Next, we had the triple threat for the singles portion of the tag match. Just skip that entirely.
Oh,
Midday
God.
Slinging pancakes.
That was terrible. There they go. Pancakes again. Oh, the bar. Xavier Woods, Mr. Boring, the guy who calls all of you guys infants for complaining about something. Hey, Xavier Woods, did you happen to look over at the crowd tonight and see all those empty seats? Did you look over last night on Monday Night Raw and see the 5 empty sections almost? Did you see the ratings from yesterday's show? Who's the fucking infant now? You stupid idiot. You got a PhD, but you chose to do this. Shoot yourself. Okay, why don't you go sniff out Paige's pussy in the back again?
I know what he shot onto that NXT title.
Yeah, he shot his big fucking load. His big fucking load on that title belt, you sick fuck. The belt that's touched by
the ratings
kids.
Last night. Wait till you see the attendance next week.
Yeah, I can't wait for the attendance.
And then, you know, the New Year's Eve episode is being taped on a Friday. So they're not going to be live that Monday night. So they're not doing too well for Christmas. You know, this whole month is screwed because you figure they've got Christmas Eve Monday night, so they are going to be, you know, live in action that night.
A cum stain for Christmas.
Yeah, who's going to be watching Christmas Eve night Raw?
I know I'm not.
Yeah, and then they're not going to be live on the 31st, obviously on New Year's Eve. So they're taping the Friday before. I don't know why they wouldn't tape both shows, because no one's going to want to tune in live or have to go there live on Christmas Eve, I feel. But just, you know, unfortunate scheduling conflicts this year with the holidays and whatnot. But the whole thing's just a disaster. So the ratings are only going to get worse and worse this month. It's going to be record-breaking continually.
I agree. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse until they start making things better. Yeah, we're the crybaby. We're the realists who don't like the show. Anytime you want to listen to the people that don't like the show, feel free to do it. Because for every person that says, I fucking hate this show, there's another guy who just leaves. So, Kurt Wetzel.
To be honest, I left, and it's funny you bring that up. I called to talk about that because I can't even imagine what you guys have gone through, because you guys are much older than I am, as I'm only 18, but I have watched wrestling for as long as I can remember, and I didn't even get to experience the best of the best when it was at its most popular, but I still had way better memories than I can recall from the last 5 years, as almost nothing stands out, and it's fucking pathetic.
Well, yeah, that's a great point, because when people say, oh, do you remember when this happened or that happened, we don't get to go, oh, what year was this or when did that happen? Like, you know, especially the last 5 years, there's not a lot of memorable, huge moments that you recount.
And there's no crazy storylines either where, you know, that can jump out, you know, that were just creative.
D. Bryan's character seems like a mix of CM Punk's straight edge and CJ Parker when he was in NXT. The Miz does not get enough credit for keeping up with great wrestlers.
Yeah, Rodzilla, I agree, man. The Miz is fucking been killing it for a long time now, you know? It's crazy really what the Miz has done. He's kind of a 6 out of 10 wrestler and everything, but yeah, I mean, I'll give him a lot of credit, but to me he just doesn't do a lot for me. I respect his longevity though. And he was funny tonight. His facial expressions were hilarious while when Brian was cutting those vegan promos, Miz looked hilarious. That shit was funny. Anyway, Rodzilla, thanks for the donation. Salty Cameron, continue, my friend.
No, I was just saying it's a fucking shame, man, because, like, just like all the, I don't know, man, like, just the fucking, even the characters, man, they just stand out more, and I just have more nostalgia just for, like, the fucking characters back in the day. Like, there's no characters now that stand out, or there's nobody that's really that charismatic on the mic. I mean, I got to fucking, I don't know, man. There's just so many people, even in the early 2000s when it wasn't that great, but it was still better than what was going on, you know? Like, SmackDown, when, like, it first, or not when it first started, but when it was, like, with Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle were, like, headlining it, man. Like, it was fucking good at that time, man. And, like, I don't know, just, like, Evolution and shit like that brings back memories for me. And it's just, like, that is so much better than what is going on now.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't like the Miz. See, here's the thing. Like, I compared, like, the Miz. Let's talk about safe wrestlers. Bret Hart was a guy who never really hurt anybody. but Bret Hart looked like he was really fighting people. Like Bret Hart looked awesome. The Miz doesn't look good. It looks like stupid. The stuff Miz does to me looks dumb. And the stuff,
and to be honest,
Bret Hart
I
looks
think
real.
everybody. Oh, sorry, Joe.
No, but I mean, Cameron, have you ever gone back and watched like Bret Hart at like WrestleMania 8 or 12 or something?
Dude, fuck yeah, man! It's funny you mentioned that. Actually, I remember when I was 5 years old, dude. I started a DVD collection of every DVD, like WWE DVD I could get my hands on, from past, present, whatever. And obviously, this was before the network, so
right.
I would, I would watch all the Shawn Michaels matches, Bret Hart matches, fucking
wrestling's one of the only
it's not even comparable, man. And I was watching the Joe Rogan Jake the Snake podcast, and Jake the Snake was talking about how him and Macho Man him and Andre went out there, and they were just fucking like Andre ripped his hair out one night, he said, and that was completely like off the cup and like was not planned. Like
what
just
the fuck?
That fucking crazy. Like they would never be able to get away with shit right now, and like we wonder why.
Maybe they would. Maybe they would. I mean, Nia Jax punches you in the nose and breaks your head, and then
but then she bitches. But then she complains, "Oh, why is nobody talking about me? It's because you're a fat cunt."
Well, I mean,
nobody wants to see you dancing around on Total Divas, you fucking bunty cunt.
And the funny thing is, too, like, people, it's because she's fat, you don't like her. No, that's not it.
She sucks!
She sucks, plain and simple.
She fucking sucks!
Just fucking piles onto it all.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Salty Cameron, I love you, bro. Have a good day. If you had more, I'm sorry. I just got to move on, man. We got to move a little bit.
He's fucking right.
He's right.
He's absolutely right.
I'm 100%.
She fucking sucks. She
Suck
sucks
me.
so much.
Well, then I'm going to line up.
It's infuriating.
She sucked me?
No, that's the problem.
Oh.
She doesn't suck men and doesn't swallow.
Oh my god. What the fuck, dude?
That's the mood I'm in.
Where are we at here?
Next up, and the sad shit is too, like, so we saw one of each guy here for the triple threat. So next week we'll see whoever didn't wrestle tonight again. That's what they'll do, like they always do. They'll fill them in.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see a repeat of this again next week. I guarantee it. We had Rusev Day backstage talking about Nakamura, but we didn't see either one of them. So whatever. We got the Miz's promo. Miz was good, like we said. I didn't care for the Fickle thing, but the rest of it was good. Not enough to save the show.
I agree, man. I agree with that.
Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, again, no interest here.
All to set up. It was all to set up Samoa Joe to be able to say.
Yeah, and
that didn't really work. It just like that. I felt it was out of place tonight. Like it didn't work out. I don't know. I just didn't care. It was like, oh damn, but
it made Jeff look ridiculously stupid to stop. From taking down Orton just because Samoa Joe is on the screen. There wasn't. That's one of those things where you need a run-in to really, even if you want to get in somebody's head, have him be right there. So the threat of him interfering in the match.
I'll give them credit. They're doing stuff on locations and stuff. Remember, it was like, hey, give us some different places.
They're just doing it at the wrong times, I feel.
Yeah. Again, they're behind, and they're behind the recommendations by 3 months or 5 months. They should have had Samoa Joe wheel out like a bar, like wheel out a fucking beer cart and be like, hey, Jeff, how you doing, man? Just having a drink. Hey, look, I can drink this and not get in trouble because I'm a man. You're a boy. Hey,
have him be at the bar before the match, or early on in SmackDown talking about Jeff, and then during the match come out with the beer. Just stand. That's why he didn't jump into the announce table, because Samoa Joe standing right there, beer in hand, comes out from over the barricade, just drinking his glass, and that's it. Simple, but that's effective enough for him not to follow through with the table hit, and that leads to the RKO.
Right.
Him being on the screen, the Titantron, it's like, well, why would you stop and forfeit the match, essentially? Just makes him look more like a dumbass. And the sad part is they're hitting a lot of the same notes of the feud we've already seen. I feel like CM Punk and Hardy, did it better.
Yeah.
They're making a lot of the same, allegations and whatnot.
Well, and like then you got that, and then you got the Jericho with the Jack Daniels bottle over
with CM Punk. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, but it works because it's real. So it's not like it works for me because it has been. It's a real thing, but it feels like if the Jericho thing was number 1, and the Jeff Hardy CM Punk thing was number 2. This is like down that list of like watered down. Like this is very watered down. So it
is very watered down, and most of the best storylines are always doused in realism, like you said. So when they have that added believability and like, oh, it's taboo, you're not supposed to bring this up or you're not supposed to talk about it.
Yeah,
that makes it more intriguing and interesting. Problem here is the fact that, like you said, very watered down, very neutered, and they're not going anywhere new with it. There's no new territory to explore. There is, but they're just not hitting it. So, I mean, it's just, it feels like we've seen this. It's all just got to run its course. They got to get out of their system. And then Samoa Joe is just a done deal for me, really. Like, oh, he'll threaten him over and over again. I think that's part of the reason it bothers me too. Like Jericho, oh, he was not only threatening, but he backed it up. Same thing with CM Punk. Samoa Joe has done nothing but just pull a Bray Wyatt, runs his mouth, gets his ass kicked, loses, and then it's rinse and repeat. So I don't know how with it. What more can we get out of this in this current iteration? Not much. So it's boring. Sadly, it's boring. Samoa Joe should be so much better, but they book him terribly in the sense that he sounds great on the mic, he's good in the ring, but they need to stop having him lose so friggin' often.
Samoa Joe has not won in forever. I mean, when was the last?
Yeah, I can't recall the last time he's won anything meaningful.
He hasn't won anything meaningful, and it's just dragging really far behind for Joe at this point. But they did something tonight. I guess it's just was not. This show tonight fell flat for me.
Yeah, and then we hear about the rap battle next week.
Oh, that just told me don't watch. That's what that said.
Yeah, that's the skip, and then we get AJ the Miz.
What's the only tease for next week? It's the women's match, but that's going to be broken up or something by Becky.
Yeah.
Or something, like there's going to be a false finish. Nobody's going to really win that match.
Yeah,
there's going to be an interference thing that happens. And it might even be one of these run-ins with these other women for no reason. And then Asuka and Charlotte will have to team together either that night or the next week. Because they're trying to delay and shit, and like, oh my god, you can see it coming a mile away.
Well, next week will be the go home show, I believe. So
what? Really? I thought we had 2 more weeks after this.
I believe next week, and then it goes right into the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. Well, then you'll definitely have Becky breaking it up with the 3 of them staring down at the end or whatever. So it's not. No one's going to win the match.
Yeah, it's the 16th, so we'll get to next week, and then we'll have the pay-per-view after that.
There's no reason to watch that match. No one's going to win it. We already know what the matches are. The way that they're creating interest and building to the event sucks. We already know what's happening. There's literally no story left to be told other than to have the matches. That's why these shows suck. They're giving us half-ass shit this week, half-ass shit next week, and then we get to the pay-per-view. Instead of like building this throughout to get to the show. And
yeah. Well, look at the last 13 weeks. They've only had 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes just a week, to build a storyline for an event, whether it be Super Showdown from SummerSlam till now. They've had no more than 3 weeks to build a match. So now that they have this like 5-week span, they don't really know what to do. They don't know how to keep it going and carry it on.
Right.
So it past week 2 or 3, it really starts to just linger and feel drastically slow. So. That was it. Daniel Bryan was really good on commentary. I liked everything that he had to say. He was nitpicky in all the right ways, and he was, some of his stuff was really funny. Him picking on Brian Saxton actually made me chuckle a few times.
That was funny, man. That was good.
But besides that, the ending with him, starting off with the chop block and then attacking AJ over and over, like it's good, but I don't know. I wish we got a little bit more of a vicious nature from Daniel at this point.
Well, I think he's staying in his wheelhouse, which is like, wait a minute, what type of viciousness do you want? I don't get it.
I wanted to see him be a little bit more sadistic, attack with a weapon and really target the leg. And,
of AJ?
He started to, pretty much pay attention to the injured leg beforehand. But I really wanted to see him go all out. Put him in a chair and
I don't think
take
they
him
want
out to
to.
the stairs.
I don't think they want to step on the women's toes who have been doing that. So I think that's why.
They could do it with the steel stairs. They can go ahead and they can find a way. They could be more, even if it just ties him up in the ropes and hits him a few times. Just make it look more brutal.
Yeah, you could put him in the yes lock in the ropes or something. I don't know.
Tie him up in the ropes and just really make him look like, wow, there is no ends to the levels Daniel Bryan will go to.
See, I think he's already the champion, so I feel like, I don't know. Like, I guess I didn't mind that. I mean, I'd always be down for a little more violence, like rather than what they did.
Yeah.
But
I just want him to just really show like this sick nature that, wow, there's nothing that will keep him from retaining this title. This really is the reason he changed, and this will forever be his muse, his inspiration.
I think they're more focused on his mental, like how he feels and his character there, rather than his violence. Like I think they're just focused more on
that should define his motivations, not be his motivations. In my eyes, and that's the problem.
He's gonna make the belt vegan. Wouldn't that be funny? Make some fucking belt vegan. He makes the belt out. He's like, this gold was made in a place where smokestacks, like blah blah blah. So then like he wants the title traded in, and he comes in tomorrow with like a rope belt or something like retarded.
A hemp rope.
A hemp rope. Yeah. He comes in here. This is my hemp rope. Check this out. Let me play a donation. Dorian Moore.
Nia not like most cows, cow face, cow face, cow face.
I'm not like most cows. Moo. I could eat all the vegans. Yeah, Dorian Moore, thanks for the $1.99. But yeah, I'm going to let the other ones play too. I'm going to let you guys see what you guys have to say about this bullshit. This bullshit. What's up to K-Dog in the chat, man? What's up? And shout out to France Monahan, who became a $10 patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. 30 hours of bonus content coming your way. Shit bum.
Yo, Joe and Jake.
What's up?
Well, can't say this SmackDown was good. It was okay to say the least. I'm literally looking forward to the women's TLC match. Anyway, I got a question. Speaking of the PPV, what's your favorite TLC match? #I boo the cunt, #I boo the nip, #fickle.
You mean of all time at a TLC? I really generated. Thank you for the $5, man. I'd have to say like TLC, like 2 or whatever at WrestleMania. Probably.
Yeah, that's always a big standout.
Shit,
the first one I liked Wyatt and Dean Ambrose too. That was
I
really
see
good.
wrestling was shit once again. Why is that? I mean, every time I tune into a non-monetize, it's always how disappointing wrestling was. Anyhow, got my Christmas shopping done and just came by to see my sexy bear Jake.
Oh,
Kisses.
baby. Wow, the essence of morality wants a piece of your bumper sticker, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
The sense of morality. Will you give him what he wants for Christmas? That's what I want to know.
Indeed. I'll wrap it up with a bow. Kisses.
He wants something nice, man. He wants a fucking partridge in your pear ass. Yo, 606, what's up?
With my golden rings.
Yo, what's up, dude?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, Joe Cronin. How are you doing, man? Big fan.
I am doing tired after that SmackDown.
I didn't get to watch SmackDown tonight, but
not a lot of people did.
So
their rating looks like their rating's going to go down too.
Terrible.
Yeah, it seems like it. A lot of people on Twitter said the same thing.
Do you guys know if there's any truth to the rumors that Vinnie Mac is selling the WWE?
They've been talking about that for 3 years now, and I haven't heard it. I'm not aware of it. I don't think so. That'd be, I mean, where do the rumors come from? Where are you hearing these rumors?
I have heard that with the Fox acquisition, you know how Fox, let's see, let me back up for a minute. You know how they're going to start airing SmackDown on Fox now, right?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Makes sense why they don't give a shit, I'll tell you that much.
Since they're going to start airing SmackDown on Fox, I've heard, like, with that acquisition, Fox was entertaining purchasing the WWE outright, having 100% TV rights for the WWE.
Wow.
Vinnie Mac relinquishing all power and just moving on to other endeavors, whatever his production company is that he just did. He's got that new production company where he's making movies and all this different types of media. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I forget the name too, but yeah, he does have a separate company. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Right. Yeah, that would be real.
That's just what I've heard.
I wonder if Stephanie and Shane and all them would stay and they'd be part of it still, even though they didn't own the company anymore. Or would they still own a piece of it? And maybe Fox would own a piece of it, but Vince's kids would still own it. Maybe Vince would just buy himself out of the company. I could see that happening. But at the same time, Vince said he's not going anywhere, so I don't really know.
Kind of makes sense though with him dumping all the stock again, more so recently. What did we say, like another $22 million that he got rid of? So.
Wow.
Yeah, because dump it.
What about the XF, like this XFL again? Like it's coming back, I think 2020 or something, and I don't know. I just feel like the Raw and SmackDown shows are an afterthought at this point. I feel like there's too much emphasis on the women right now. There's really not a big superstar carrying the company on their back like there was. I mean, throughout time, different eras have different faces.
Yeah, John Cena's kind of where John Cena's where Hulk Hogan was around the WrestleMania 9 time, and. Nobody really came in after that. Reigns really
right.
He reminded me of Diesel. Diesel really, and I think Diesel might have been more over, but in a way. But I don't know. They're similar. Diesel really couldn't quite handle it all by himself, so they had to keep mixing in Brett and Sid and Shawn and everybody else, and they couldn't really figure it out. And that's what this reminds me of. Roman isn't 100%. They've done all they can. But it's still not working, and it's like now you mix in Seth, but that doesn't work really yet all the way in Dean, and doesn't work, and nothing really is sticking, and it's a mess.
I think they were trying to perhaps put Braun all the way over there for a minute and make him the guy. I feel like, and even Roman Reigns.
Yeah, they've killed. I mean, it's almost like Braun didn't even quite reach the Roman status. Almost, it seems like if you look at T-shirt sales and draw and things like that, Braun Strowman is clearly the B. I would say that Roman is a B minus, and Braun is maybe a B minus or a C plus or something. There's no A player. There's no A guy. It's crazy.
I mean, Vince is lost touch as is. So I mean. Lack of star talent is one of many woes, but
I feel like they didn't know what to do with Braun. Like, was he going to be the monster heel, or was he going to be the big guy face? And I feel like there was a time there where they just didn't really know which direction they were going to take him. And now I don't even think he's on the top of the card anymore, right? I'm sorry, I haven't watched Raw.
Well, Braun is out with an elbow. He's booked to be in a match at TLC, but
it's still not like a main important match. I mean, he's trying to earn a title shot, but
yeah, and he's an idiot.
It's a main storyline for Raw, but
they killed Braun. I said this months ago. They've killed him. I mean, the guy fucking cashed in his money in the bank like a moron, or he gave it up. He didn't even cash in his money in the bank. He just gave it up.
He cashed it in for the match, but
he's an idiot.
Yeah, they didn't know what they wanted to do with him, and a lot of that was just a wait and see. Like, it was a holding pattern, and then unfortunately Roman fell ill, and got that bad diagnosis, and from there they went ahead and they didn't know what to do, and they're like, oh crap, now we have nobody, so they were forced to turn him face, and that wasn't in the cards, and they had to kind of quickly halt and alter plans, and they turned him again, so it's been so many changes for his character, and a lot of it was just out of the ordinary. They had him doing severe face stuff as a heel and heel stuff as a face, so
yeah, exactly.
He's supposed to be a face, but he's trashing Kevin Owens and bullying people. Oh, he's supposed to be a heel, But like Joe said, he's doing the honorable thing by cashing in his briefcase weeks ahead of time and not sneak attacking people. Well, which is it? You can't. It doesn't work. And Vince is over here, I was reading the story before with Kalisto talking about Vince loving the Lucha House Party and how he wanted to put the tag titles in a big friggin' piñata. And he was like, oh, that's an awesome idea. How about we take a big piñata and, put the titles in there. It'll be like the Money in the Bank briefcase. And it's like, that's your idea of a main event match at this point.
Dude, Vince is a fucking idiot. Vince is a fucking idiot, dude. Lucha House Party is fucking retarded. Vince, you dumb fucking idiot. Go ahead,
They said
Tommy.
they were making a joke bringing out the noisemakers on like the 205 show. It was only supposed to be a joke. They were having fun one day, and Vince loved it, and that's why they have the, the house party now, bringing out the piñatas all the time.
Ugh.
Ridiculous. That's what Vince enjoys. He's always like that silly humor, the poop and pee jokes and the big props and stuff like that. That's always been right up his
I like
alley,
that
so.
too when it's mixed. Like that works a lot better in the Attitude Era. The reason is because everything is so hardcore and over the top, and then all of a sudden you have this goofy shit. So that actually worked in the Attitude Era for that reason. It doesn't work in this era when everything sucks.
Because like you said, comparatively, it was I don't want to say like breath of fresh air, but it was so drastically different than what you were used to.
Exactly,
that
breath
it
of
made you
fresh
laugh.
air. Yeah, because everything else was so serious and on the line and blood and all these things. And then there's these guys with a piñata. So it worked. But right now everything is so lame and PG and terrible, and then you get guys with a fucking piñata. And then you get three faces. Guys that are supposed to be faces. Triple teaming people. Why the... what? This is dumb.
You would have, the silly moments and things like that, and Jericho pissing in the, the tea kettle, or you would go ahead and you would get, and those type of jokes work. Now, it's beyond childish. It's so immature. And by contrast, like you said, it doesn't hold up.
Speaking of immature, Nacho Libre is on the phone. What's up, Nacho?
Nacho!
Ha! You're funny, Joe.
Well, you look like him. What's up?
So you're saying I look like Jack Black?
Yeah, everybody always says you look like Nacho Libre. Everybody always says that. But what's up?
I did not watch SmackDown tonight, but I gotta say I was calling in to give love and support to you, Joe, because I always got your back, and I always try to support your show no matter what. Call in, give you love, and
all this BS.
This
for
guy's
Vince's
supporting my show right
amusement
now,
at this
Tommy.
point.
Branulus, thank you. All this BS is for Vince's amusement. I believe so, Branulus.
Yep.
Now, there's a guy showing support for my show. Tommy. You calling in saying, I don't know what to say, doesn't help at all. Like, what the... Oh, whatever.
Tommy sent me a skit from SNL before.
Oh,
I
God,
think
that show sucks.
It was from the early days of SNL, and it was with
like the
Chevy
80s?
Chase and Richard Pryor.
Oh, okay, that's better.
Chevy Chase had said the N-word to Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
And I was like, Tommy, what racist stuff are you sending me, making a joke? And he's like, I didn't make that. And I was like, you didn't? Really? You didn't resurrect Richard Pryor to make that sketch? Wow.
Are you sure you didn't do it? Yeah.
It's like...
Branulus, I love you, bro. Thanks, man. Well, anything else you wanted to say about news or talk about, Jake, and then I'll hit my last thing?
They said that, this has obviously been the plan for Drew and Dolph for quite some time. The unfortunate part is that they said it's probably, going to likely be another Aiden English scenario where Dolph just drifts away off TV and doesn't remain the focus going forward. This was always the plan to have them split apart, but they don't have many plans for Dolph going forward. So
they should have done a hell of a lot more with it, though.
They should have, but according to Meltzer here, he said he's going to be fading down and McIntyre is going to be going up, and that's how it was always going to be since day one.
Yeah.
They used Ziggler, and that's how the story was. So, I mean, we knew that was coming, but like you said, they should have done a lot more.
Yeah, we knew from day one, like, oh, they're going to, he's going to turn on Ziggler eventually, and Ziggler's just there to help him kind of get over to some of the people that don't know what's up. And they could have had this big blow-off thing, and maybe at TLC, and they just skipped it. Seems like
you just skipped right over it, and they turned Dolph face in the same time frame. It's just very odd decision.
Nobody cares about that, by the way.
Yeah, Ty Dillinger said the only reason he's staying is for money, which we knew.
So wait a minute, he outright said that?
Yeah, somebody said, leave WWE and go to Ring of Honor or Impact. Nothing left for you in WWE.
I disagree because...
the tweet, and he said, accept money.
Well, the one thing is, that Ty Dillinger gimmick works the best because of his song. What I would suggest to wrestlers, I would suggest this to any wrestlers, and in fact, I would suggest this to a band and a group of musicians or talented people with music. Get together and start writing theme songs for wrestlers. Similar to how Cody Rhodes has his theme song, the American Nightmare song. That thing, he's allowed to use that anywhere, on TVs, everywhere, and that's his. If you're a wrestler listening right now, and you're on the independents,
get the rights.
Get a good song, get the rights, pay a group to make it, and use it. And if I was Ty Dillinger, if you leave the WWE, Ty Dillinger, make sure that you do that. And if you're a band out there that's really talented, who can do some rap and then rock and big instrumentals and things like that, then you guys need to start coming together and advertising your services to these wrestlers. Because if Ty Dillinger leaves, like, you could make a song, like the 10 song or whatever the hell. So he has something, and then when he goes on the indies, everybody recognizes it. And he could really do better with that. Like, people will get hyped to go see him. The music really matters, even on the indies. I promise you it does. And but
that's a great point, because, like you said, that recognition is gigantic. You know, when you see wrestlers having to change their name and their likeness entirely, and having to go as being booked formerly known as Emma or formerly known as Ryback, things like that. You know, it was difficult when he changed his name, but you know, there was a lot of, you know, concessions that have to be made typically. So if you use your real name and, you know, things of that nature, you know, it's wise to set yourself up the best you can for future possibilities. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Also, small little tidbit, which, you know, we'll see what happens here, but Mark Henry let it be known today, oddly enough, you know, that Alexa Bliss has been cleared to return to in-ring action, but he gave her advice. He spoke of Chris Nowinski, you know, the concussion expert there, and said that Bliss is now ready to return to action, but she had no memory of flights. She had a really bad time with post-concussion issues. She had memory issues. She had severe vertigo. She couldn't stand up straight. Her balance was affected. And then another concussion happened, and that made all issues worse.
Oh, yeah.
Now she's cleared, but Mark Henry said to her, you know, go back when you're ready. There's no set date, so she could return as soon as next week.
Yeah.
But he told her, wait, just do the, you know, the GM role for now and be in charge and just wait. There's no rush. Go back when you're fully comfortable, which I think is great.
I think they're going to do that anyway. In my news video earlier today, I just said,
yeah,
they're not done with this yet. So they're not done with it. So, you know, this can go weeks more, and then they may even do something where, you know, Sasha and Bayley tag team against her and somebody else, where it's just kind of like a throwaway little rivalry, and that doesn't have to happen for another month. And that would get.
It almost seems like they're trying to make her a bit more of a face manager too. You know, like last week, she conspired against everyone. This week, she was trying to find a bit of a balance and stop the sneak attacks and get people to have, you know, certain matches set up and whatnot. And so we'll see where they go with it. But also, I said before that, you know, we'll probably, you know, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities to see Natalya take on, you know, the Riot Squad in a tables match, since they've been putting her through a table.
Right.
But I guess it's known now that Natalya is nursing an elbow injury and that she's been written off the show now. So that table spot is what wrote her off the show.
Oh, wow.
That's why she was holding on to her elbow so much.
That's crazy. You didn't know that. Okay, so yeah, so she did the Braun Strowman exit.
Yep. So she's been written off the show. No idea how long. Could be minor, could be big, but nothing's being said. So there's another one off.
Well, good, it's her. Branulus, what's up?
What's going on, Joe?
Nothing, man. I'm dead, man. I can't wait to get off the air tonight and go to sleep. Because this was a boring show, boring night. I'm bored right now. It sounds like everybody else here is bored too. It's time to go to bed. But what's up with you?
Yeah, I'm bored with this product now. I mean, basically, Vince McMahon has pretty much just removed himself from the WWE universe, and it's pretty much.
I wish he would.
Like I said with my super chat, all this BS that we're seeing now is pretty much for his entertainment. It's for his amusement.
Feels like he's screwing with us. It really does.
Yeah, it's been that way since what, 2010?
I mean, maybe a little bit later, but it feels like you said, it's what does he want to see, not what do the fans want to see.
Since 2008 for me. I haven't liked this since 2008. I've thought this sucks since 2008.
Yeah,
I would say 2013 for me is when it really fell apart, but
maybe, but
you could go there. Like
that's my own personal.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, I wasn't happy with the new DX, and then 2006 the new DX, and then 2007.
Yeah, that was a joke.
No, I mean, I liked it. Now I kind of liked it, but like I wasn't happy that it wasn't quite the old one. But God, I had no idea I was going to get this piece of shit. Like it's way worse. Like that was. I'll take that any day. The whole Spirit Squad thing, that was way better than this. And that I thought that was starting to suck. I was like, this is not quite what I wanted, but it's kind of funny. But now, holy shit, I would take that in a heartbeat. So anything after 07, I think, anything after 07 for me, other than a few matches and a few things that happened, oh my God, the worst. This has been awful.
Oh, yeah.
2006 at least had, like, they at least did some things in 2006. They had SummerSlam, a great SummerSlam in Boston. They had, WrestleMania 22 was pretty good. You know, there was a good amount of stuff that happened, but man, 08 to now gets worse every year for me, way worse.
Yeah, and to think, not even AJ Styles, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, all these great talents that have come through could not save WWE Raw or SmackDown.
Right. I wasn't even a big fan of Punk that much, so I mean a little bit. When he did things, it was great, but they obviously hindered him too.
Yeah, when you go back and you rewind, like as far as everyone missing CM Punk and all that, when you look back on everything that he did with that, historic title run, oh my God, there was not a lot of content there. Alberto Del Rio and him going head to head and everything with Cena and
Sheamus,
a lot of it was just
and then like Santino every second with some goofy thing like
and then the Shield getting involved and then it ending with The Rock, like all of it just was not good. The Summer of Punk before he had the belt, when he had that shorter run and everything that happened and taking on Triple H and
can you believe it's been
Kevin
10
Nash
years
getting involved? Like
that means for 10 years I've hated WWE pretty much, or I haven't really liked it a lot.
Yeah,
for 10 years.
All cylinders.
That's crazy. For 10 years. I haven't really liked WWE that much for 10 years. That's nuts. I can remember thinking like...
Decade of AIDS.
I remember like 93, 94, 95, things weren't the best. And 96.
Oh, 95 was bad.
95 was really bad, yeah, but...
95... could have killed the company.
But that was one year, dude.
Go back.
And even if you want to add 96, if you add 95 and 96, whatever. But, dude, 97 things started turning around. So you only had 1 or 2 years of downtime, kind of. And this is, to me, a 10-year mark. And maybe some people disagree with me. Maybe some people are like Jake and they think it was 2014 or 13. Well, that's still 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's still 5 years. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
now, CM Punk...
CM
Punk had some really bright spots, but everything else was so bad, he just seemed so good. But he would have been way better in the Attitude Era because he could have done things. Dean Ambrose, too, probably.
I didn't realize how, because you forget, timelines, especially with my brain not working. But, he was there for a whole year after losing the title and everything that happened after WrestleMania with him. And, he was there from 29 to 30. I always feel like...
They kept him away from Daniel Bryan. Didn't you say they kept him away from Daniel Bryan?
There was a lot that they held him away from, and... that being one, but I honestly forgot that Punk was around for, that period of time. To me, in my mind, the way it seemed out like the timeline, I knew he always left before 30, but I felt like it was that Rumble that he lost the belt, then he left. But no, he went, and it was the year after where he got hurt in the Rumble, and then Kane put him through the table and all that shit happened. Like, it all melds together because it's just so bad at that point. But he was stagnant for a whole year. After having a 434-day reign, I think it was, as champion, he went a whole year doing basically fuck all before leaving the company. And like you said, they kept him away from Daniel Bryan that whole time, and it was just nightmare.
Which would have been great. It would have been great if he had stayed, and then he was, well, one of Daniel Bryan's rivalries after Daniel Bryan wins.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome.
Yeah,
but no, we don't get that.
Yeah, you could say like after his long reign, you could say he pretty much checked out.
He probably did because he kept seeing what they were booking for him, and they were like, "Meh."
Yeah, and to couple with the injuries he suffered.
Well, it's the way his reign ended. He did all this great stuff, and then, you're going to drop the belt to The Rock now and not be in the main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Imagine
we're
that
gonna
must
screw you out of everything.
That must have pissed him off. He must have thought, hey, I'm on the road to WrestleMania, maybe to drop this against somebody in a big match. And no, you're on the road to quickly handing it off to The Rock so he can come in now after everything you did, and you're going to have a match against Kane.
Movies.
You're going to wrestle Kane.
Yeah, you go from The Rock to The Undertaker to Kane or Triple H.
That was, dude, devastating.
I guess if you put yourself in his shoes, I guess at that point, if you're like in a feud with Kane, it's pretty much the end.
Well, I don't think he really thought it was the end. I just think he was like, I worked all this time thinking, I'm going to take this to the main event at WrestleMania. That's how this usually works. And, so I'm going to, put over somebody. Like, somebody's going to beat me for this belt probably at WrestleMania, or I'll retain, but probably someone's going to beat me for the belt at Mania. He probably would have been okay with The Rock beating him at Mania. But to just fucking hand it over, what was it, Survivor Series, or what was it?
It was the Royal Rumble.
It was the Rumble. It's
and
like, here you go.
The match worked out too. It was, it wasn't, because they restarted the match, and it was just a real, shitty finish.
Really stupid.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The Rock was on the mic, basically like restarting the match himself, being like, "I'm not going out like that," and whatever.
Yeah, and he was probably already kind of made up his mind, but probably wouldn't have if things had worked off a little bit differently.
Yeah. No, of course.
All right.
I still wish, if anybody, CM Punk was the one to end the streak,
Yeah, he could have been the one to end it, man. He could have been the one to end the streak. Let me go to these donations real quick, guys. If you want to get your donations in, or anything, say anything, or whatever, feel free to do it now. This is the time to do it if you want to click down below and have some fun and send us some alerts here. Feel free to do it. Now's the time.
Super chat. Super chat. Jake, stay sexy, smiling face with hard eyes, smiling face with hard eyes, smiling face with hard eyes.
I'll shake it like Lana, baby.
Louis Money. I want you to shake it.
Super chat.
I like that one.
WWE really changed after Eddie Benoit's death.
That's true. It got really weird after that. Although, yep, I agree. Lewis, thank you. Who was that, though? That was Branulus? Or Sean Gordon? I don't remember who that was.
That was Sean.
Sean Gordon, man. What's up, Sean? How you doing, buddy? I thought I was ahead of myself. Sean Gordon, man. Mwah. Give you kisses. I give you kisses. We got one more coming in. Looks like from might be Army Ann. Let's see.
Super Chat Party.
Haven't watched Raw or SmackDown live in the past month. Glad for your insights about the shows. Just looking forward to the TLC. Hopefully will not disappoint. Tommy is really Nacho Libre.
He really does, man. Army Ann, thank you for the $14 super chat. That's a big one. It's a quiet night tonight, man. It's a quiet night out there. Not a lot of calls.
Night.
People went to sleep, dude. People aren't calling really tonight. There's a few calls coming in here or there that are blocking, but normally it's like hundreds. So there is like people that went to bed, man. People went to fucking sleep, and I don't blame you. By the way, my Twitter...
Not at all. The chat wants me to take it off, so we're at a point now where if they want me to strip, then it's definitely... we've reached maximum levels of fuckery.
My Twitter is still down until Thursday night, I think. So if you don't see me if I haven't been responding to anybody on Twitter, that's why I can't. You can DM me on Twitter, but that's it until Thursday. So at CorruptedPod on Twitter. I'll be back Thursday. Tomorrow night is Out of Nowhere, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be live all night with that. And don't forget, you guys, if you haven't signed up on Patreon, check it out. $5, man. $5.
Gotta get us to 500 patrons. That'll be the goal for New Year's.
Even if
by New Year's.
I just want to get to 500 patrons and rub it in that guy's face. All right, so even if you have $1 for a month, $1 a month, $1 for 3 months, that's $3 in 3 months. If you want to drop me that, try it out. You're going to like all the content on Patreon. There's so much shit over there; it's insane, and we're reaching.
You won't be disappointed.
People, it just keeps going up every month on Patreon for the last 4 years. It's gone up and up and up. Especially this year, we had the 60% growth this year. I'm gonna have 60% growth in my fucking privates later.
So much great feedback about the Till Death Do Us podcast there too. So.
Dude, you know who loves the podcast with me and Leah is Jesse. He's like freaking out over it, and I love it.
Yeah, he's a huge proponent of it as well. So
I can't wait to get him on the podcast again. But yeah, Jake, man, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna end the show, Jake. And I'll talk to you on Facebook, brother. Thanks for all the help tonight, and
we'll see you for Out of Nowhere tomorrow. Everybody stay sexy. Have a good night, and we'll catch you then.
Hell yeah, baby. Good nights. Mwah. And I'm gonna play this clip, man. Jesse is the man.
Give it a hell yeah!
I like DB as a heel. Conviction. My big word of the day, he's locked into the character. I dig it.
Yeah, I think so too, and I love that. I think you're right. Totally game with that. Turdpocalypse, thanks for the 316, Turd. Here's what Jesse thought of me and Leah's new podcast, which is available on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Plug in the Patreon because it's just people are killing it over there. So here's what Jesse thought. The new episode is up. It's the latest thing on my Patreon. If you haven't listened to it, it's an hour long. It's cool. It's episode 3. Jesse likes it.
I gotta tell you, man, that podcast with you and Leah is probably one of the best things you've ever done. Like, I don't know, man. It's better and better every time you guys get together. Like, this is just such a good episode. Like, it's like every couple minutes there's a fucking funny or just entertaining, one-liner from you or Leah, or just the stuff you guys are talking about and the way you go about it. It's a fucking great show, dude. So yeah, I just want to say that. So keep it up, man. I'm fucking loving this shit.
Over 50 million views. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
I hope you hang your mother.
This country sucks! This place sucks! CNN masturbated all fucking day. Dude, I will eat your fucking asshole out and then spit it into your mouth, baby bird style. Who wants to go? Call the show. I'll fuck your ass! I wanna kill myself! If I think it sucks, I tell you!
The Joe Cronin Show.
Cronin Club. The club is calling. Cronin Club.
Become a member of the Cronin Club
by going to patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Get 8 hours of bonus content a week not seen on YouTube. YouTube doesn't like the controversial stuff, but I am free to do what I want to do on Patreon. They won't be taking down these videos, so get the following for just $5 a month. Access to polls, the Corrupted podcast, every week featuring myself, Ken, and just Morning Madness, 5 days a week. The ability to download all audio to save your data plan. Episodes of Monetize This, uploaded in audio form. All of my audio song parodies available for download and listenability on the Patreon app. Direct contact with me, the community, on your PC or the Patreon mobile app. All this and so much more available on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Join the Cronin Club today.
Over 50 million
club is
views.
called
You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.